What is the truth paradox? The tragic truth about the truth. The tragic truth about truth lies in the paradoxical relationship that most people have with it. While truth is often held as an ideal scenario, something to be sought after and valued, the reality is that many individuals do not genuinely want to confront it. This aversion to truth is not limited to personal relationships or specific social contexts, but extends deeply into the functioning of institutions, including governments, non-governmental organizations, and even many private entities. The disconnect arises because truth, in its raw form, can be unsettling, uncomfortable, and even confrontational, leading many to prefer illusions or partial truths that are more palatable and less disruptive to their sense of identity, security, or worldview. A simple example illustrates this complex aversion to truth. The well-known scenario of a woman asking her partner if a dress makes her appear overweight speaks to a broader dynamic. When a husband replies, not that the dress, but her actual body shape contributes to her appearance, he is giving an unfiltered response that, while technically true, disregards the subtleties of relational dynamics and the desire for affirmation. The truth in this case does not function constructively. Instead, it becomes a source of tension or even emotional harm. This example highlights a critical aspect of human nature. People often seek reassurance or affirmation more than they seek truth. The desire for truth is typically subordinate to the desire for acceptance, esteem, and comfort, which means that honesty, especially when it challenges self-perception or ego, is often unwelcome. On a larger scale, this inclination to avoid truth extends to how people interact with governmental or institutional information. Virtually all governments, non-governmental organizations, and private institutions function within a delicate balance between transparency and strategic communication. If governments were to disclose every detail of political, economic, and military decisions to the public, societal stability would likely be compromised. Complete transparency would expose the complex, sometimes morally ambiguous processes that underlie governance, and the majority of people, while theoretically supportive of transparency, might react negatively to truths that conflict with their values or ideals. This is why many state apparatuses selectively release information or employ strategies of public relations that frame the truth in ways that maintain public trust and social cohesion. For instance, during times of economic difficulty, governments might downplay the severity of a recession or emphasize positive economic indicators to avoid widespread panic and preserve consumer confidence. While these actions may be criticized as manipulative, they serve a functional purpose by maintaining stability, even in non-governmental organizations and private sector interests. The notion of operating solely on unembellished truth poses significant challenges. Corporations, for instance, engage in marketing practices that emphasize the benefits of products without always fully disclosing potential downsides. If a company were to present its product in purely neutral terms, including both its strengths and weaknesses, it might compromise sales and fail to compete effectively in a consumer-driven market. Similarly, non-governmental organizations, especially those reliant on donations, often emphasize narratives of success or urgent need in ways that inspire emotional responses from donors. A purely factual, dispassionate presentation of issues might not achieve the same level of engagement or support. Thus, these organizations often navigate a complex balance between truth and the need to motivate and connect with their audiences. The aversion to truth within these contexts points to a broader human phenomenon. Truth, when stripped of its social filters, can challenge foundational beliefs and destabilize existing structures. The function of selective truth is not necessarily about deception, but about facilitating social cohesion, personal relationships, and institutional stability. Absolute truth, in its unvarnished form, can be challenging to manage and accept, leading many people and institutions to adopt truth selectively, to to cushion the impact of potentially disruptive realities. This selective engagement with truth reveals a tragic, if pragmatic, reality about human nature. While truth is a revered concept, its full implications are often unwelcome, and its role in society is mediated by the need for stability, comfort, and cohesion over complete candor. As noted, the paradoxical nature of truth lies in its simultaneous capacity to empower individuals and destabilize established social and institutional structures. This paradox emerges from a collective aversion to truth rooted in fear of disruption to the existing order or personal comfort. The only way to address this aversion and integrate truth more fully within societal structures is through decentralized, locally focused solutions that prioritize proximity among leaders and stakeholders. When individuals have the ability to hold one another accountable, truth gains an immediate relevance and utility in the context of daily life. Leaders within a community who share proximity and interests are better equipped to balance accountability and integrity, especially through the civic support teams, which are acting as representatives of the decentralized people's organizations and the local populations. This framework introduces a direct, meaningful, and local, even personal layer of oversight that is necessary to sustain transparency and localized, effective governance within the broader centralized national framework. To counter societal aversion to truth, critical thinking must become central to publicly available educational opportunities. The development of critical thinking skills equips individuals to discern and evaluate information based on logic, evidence, and ethical consideration. This need can be exemplified by contrasting the philosophical approach of Albert Camus, who emphasized individual responsibility and ethical rebellion, with the manipulative techniques pioneered by Edward Bernays, whose works in public relations introduced social engineering to shape public opinion, often toward passive compliance and consumerism. While Bernays and his work have far too often been employed to guide societal behavior through manipulation, it has fostered a climate where people often distrust or resist the truth. Camus, with his philosophy, focused on resisting the absurdities of societal constructs and pursuing authenticity, serves as a counterbalance. By introducing these opposing philosophies in an accessible and real-world oriented manner, individuals can develop a critical lens that recognizes manipulation, encouraging them to seek and value truth. Presenting these philosophical contrasts in a non-academic format focused on relatable, real-world examples is critical to fostering an environment where truth can thrive. Educating individuals on how manipulation occurs, why it occurs, and how it impacts their lives allows them to see the immediate personal and societal benefits of embracing truth. When people are encouraged to question and think critically about their circumstances, they become empowered to resist manipulation and value transparent discourse. The benefits of this approach extend to the family unit, as individuals who engage critically with truth will apply this insight to their interpersonal and familial relationships, fostering a culture of honesty, accountability, and personal growth and development within the family unit. As individuals begin to understand that their well-being is tied to the well-being of those around them, they can begin to see how their actions affect both their immediate family and their broader community. This improved understanding and observation of familial responsibilities and obligations instills a sense of the symbiotic nature of human life in the social construct, where the family unit and its growth and development is seen as benefiting the community, and vice versa. When the median quality of life improves within families, individuals recognize the potential for a stable, thriving community that in turn reinforces the stability and prosperity of the family. Over time, this mutual reinforcement strengthens local communities, building a foundation where truth is no longer feared but embraced as essential to individual and collective well-being. In this model, the old adage that truth will set us free is realized not as an abstract idea, but as a practical outcome of a society that values honesty and transparency without threatening the social fabric. Truth, approached through critical thinking, localized accountability, and an integrated understanding of individual well-being and community welfare, becomes a tool for liberation that enriches lives rather than destabilizes them. By creating a society where individuals see the intrinsic benefits of openness and honesty, a foundation is established for a more empowered and resilient population capable of supporting an honest, thriving societal structure that respects the complexities of both the individual human experience and the collective and symbiotic nature of the community in both form and function.
Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below.